Hi, and welcome to the LMA Education Advisory Council Body of Knowledge video series. These quick videos will help provide tips and tricks about how to use the LMA Body of Knowledge, or BOK, to enhance your role and the work you do with your teams. My name is Azeema Batchelor, Director of Business Development at Wiley, and a proud member of LMA's Educational Advisory Council. I'm joined by my fellow EAC member, Rein, Director of Partner Integration and Business Development Coaching at McGuireWoods. Today, we will be talking about how to use the BOK to enhance your career development and pave a pathway to promotion. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Erin. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Erin, how could the BOK be used as a tool for personal career development?
Oh, so many ways. I'd say I was blown away when I first saw the BOK. And I'm sad to say it was fairly recently. So I hope that what we're doing here gets the word out for people earlier in their careers than I had it. But when I think about personal career development, there is nothing like a roadmap. Everyone loves a roadmap, and that's exactly what the BOK offers. Here, it is a very straightforward roadmap. When I was coming up in the industry, I feel like all I had was sort of a rear view mirror to see what have I learned, what experiences have I had, but none of us had a crystal ball to say or to see what more do I need to learn to get where I'm going. And so that's one of the things I love about the BOK is it just lays out not only what you've learned and make sure you're on the right path, but kind of sticks a "you are here" sign in that roadmap to know where you are in the present, and then gives you all of these skills to strive for in that roadmap towards a more robust career skill set.
That's great, and I totally agree. I thought we could take a look at one of the specific skill sets in the BOK, business development, since that's both of our backgrounds. So walk me through the progression of how a junior BD professional should use this tool to grow his or her career.
Great question. And it's a great segue from the last question. So if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a junior business development person, let's just say a coordinator for simplification, first I would look at those general competencies. When someone's coming up in BD, they often think about proposals and events and chambers and maybe some project management skills. And all of those are super foundational in those junior years to set the stage for a really nice business development skill set. So I would look under those competencies and kind of tick through those skills. Where am I nailing it? Where are those essential skills that I have mastered? And more importantly, which kind of forecasts or foreshadows what we'll talk about in a little bit, what evidence do I have that I have actually mastered those skills? What can I point to in my day-to-day that shows that I've kind of ticked those off? And then you start looking forward as that junior person. What are some of those advanced skills that I still need to attain, that crystal ball that none of us had? Who do I know that has those skills, and how can I get in front of them and talk to them about how they mastered those advanced skills? So those are sort of the, the basic competencies within the BOK for business development. But one thing I love about this tool is that it allows you to kind of pan out. So even if I am a junior BD coordinator, I can look at that BOK and say, all right, beyond just RFPs or events or chambers, I can see that business development, as the industry has agreed, also encompasses things like sales or presentation skills, competitive intelligence, coaching. You can see within that business development section, all right, there's still some things and some areas that I need to learn about. And now my perspective is bigger as that junior coordinator. Now I have this roadmap for building out a skill set that's going to serve me well in the future. And I would be remiss, because I'm kind of a soft skills person, and I love myself a personality assessment. I'd be remiss if I didn't call out those desired behavioral traits that are included in the BOK. I've had folks on my team and seen people in the industry that have talked to me about just like I'm just not fulfilled in this, or it just seems harder than it needs to be. And maybe that's the key, kind of taking a look at those desired behavioral traits. And if you're looking at those under business development as a junior person, you're thinking, this just doesn't feel easy to me. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I am kind of fulfilled in what I'm doing. Take a look at those and see if that might just be not a great personality fit. And then flip through the BOK and see where your actual characteristics and traits do match up. And maybe that's an area that you might explore.
I totally agree. I also found for myself that when I went in and looked at the desired behavioral traits for the role I'm in, there are some areas where I could work on personally. So it goes both ways. You can either find something that fits what you're natural for or recognize where you need to do a little personal development and which skills can help you get there.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
So let's continue on talking about the bigger perspective. So how could that same junior BD person use the BOK holistically in order to create a personal career path?
Yeah, so this is a kind of panning out even more. So we started with those core BD competencies. We panned out to see what makes a well-rounded BD skill set. And then now, I think we can take on that even bigger perspective and use it holistically to see what goes on in the marketing and business development ecosystem. What are we talking about when we talk about this thing that we do in this industry, this niche of an industry that we're in? So first step, learn what the other functions of your team does. What does your event team do? What does your competitive intelligence team do? What does your sales team do? What is your, take any of the other functions in the BOK and just look at them with curiosity. And how does my domain in business development interact with those other domains? How can my role enhance or synergize with those other areas? Because I really think the most successful legal marketers understand that ecosystem. And I think the BOK does a great job of helping you see that a little more clearly.
Absolutely. And I think that there's a saying, if you don't understand it, how can you manage it? So for people who have aspirations to move up in their career where they may be managing a function that they didn't necessarily come up in themselves, having an understanding of what makes somebody good at event planning and strategy, if you have never really done that for yourself, is important. So you've managed many people over the course of your career. I've done the same. How would you advise legal marketers to leverage the BOK when talking to their managers about future promotions?
Future promotions talk. Azeema, you and I have sat in this seat many, many, many times over, where we have, folks on our team coming to us saying, I'm ready for the next level. And be it that as it may, our first question is always, why? Tell me why. If I'm not convinced, convince me. Oftentimes, those conversations tend to center around, well, I've been at the firm for a really long time. It's time for me to move up. Or I do, the volume of my work as compared to my peers is much higher. I work harder, I work longer, I do more. Or I've handled these significant projects over the past year or 2 years, and now I'm ready for the next level. And sometimes those are persuasive enough data points, sometimes. But I think as the bar continues to get pushed up inside every law firm, they're quickly becoming not enough. And so I look at this BOK as a tool that someone in that position of wanting a promotion can really use to their advantage. And I'm going to kind of read here. I apologize. I'm trying not to, but think of a conversation as a manager or as that coordinator looking for that promotion going something more like this. My role as a coordinator at our firm encompasses two main bodies of knowledge. I have business development and I handle a lot of events. Those are kind of where my role lies on the team right now. I've taken this tool and I've reviewed all of the skills and summarized the projects that I've tackled this year that align with those skills. Before we reach the next evaluation cycle, I would love to sit down with you, my manager, to talk through how you see these skills. For our team, for our firm, where do you see that threshold for the next level? And if I'm not there, how can I get there? What kind of projects can I handle that would show you that I'm capable of mastering them? Um, and so then all of a sudden, this kind of one-sided, hey, I'm ready because of all these random data points becomes a much more collaborative exercise. And all of a sudden now you have your manager on the same team as you, and you're both working towards the same goal of getting you to the next
100%.
level based on this really concrete set of skills. I mean, how can you say no to that as a manager?
Unfortunately, sometimes we do, but I have to say, I fully agree. And one of the things that I've always seen too is I encourage my team to think less about themselves and more about the firm's needs when they are trying to build a business case for promotion. And the BOK I have found can also help somebody identify skills gaps in a team that that individual can provide. So as a team leader, I say, if you're coming to me with a problem and a proposed solution, that's always much more advisable than just coming to me and saying we have a problem. So in the same vein, if you're coming to me and saying, I think it's time for me to move up, I've noticed that we don't have anyone on our team doing X, Y, and Z, and those are sort of the next level skills for me in the BOK. I want to be taking these on. And to your point, Erin, I think, collaborating about what are some of the stretch projects I can do, where can I, show my value here, and making it much less about that individual and much more about the skills they have to offer. I think the BOK gives them a lot of language around those skills.
Such a great point. Such a great point. And it seems like, we agree that it provides a structure for that conversation that's meaningful and substantive. And I'm grateful for the tool for that reason.
Absolutely. Same. Well, Erin, I really appreciate your time today. And for everyone who's joined us to watch this video, thank you so much. This is one of our LMA Educational Advisory Council BOK videos. It's part of a series, and we hope that you learned some things you can put into practice right away. Please do check out the other videos in the series to help make more of this invaluable resource.
Thanks, Azeema.
Thank you, Erin.